Satan creates a separate room for everyone. What's your personal heck? Listening to my mother-in-law tell the story about how she almost met Jerry Seinfeld, but then it turned out to just be a guy who looked like him. Seriously, I've heard the story like 5 times in 5 years, and it always gets longer each time she tells it. What could be told in a single sentence turns into a 10-minute story. As soon as she starts the story, I just want to interrupt her and say, it wasn't really him. The use of the word almost is what does it for me. I had a boss who would always tell me what to do when I was doing something else, that is, pick up that fry you dropped while I'm flipping burgers. Or make sure you remember to clean the flat when I'm obviously going to clean the flat. One night I had a dream that I was in front of the flat, full of burgers, and the ticket rail was completely full, all while I was by myself. I say by myself because I had to flip all the burgers and take all the orders, but my boss was standing next to me just telling me, hey, flip that burger. Remember to flip that burger. That's my heck. Whoa. Yeah, people telling me to do stuff I already know how to do is one thing I still have a hard time just brushing off. I will actually call it out now from being so frustrated. You are forced to build out your resume and then fill out the same info that is on the resume on the website for job applications, over and over again. Then, every 1000 years, you get an interview, but in the interview they tell you that the pay is substantially lower than the ad and you still accept. But then you get a call later that day saying they went with a different applicant for eternity. Is there a word for something worse than heck? I feel like this deserves a stronger word, as heck seems a bit lackluster in comparison with absolute horror of what you just described. I'm in a room with a computer always open to a Minecraft world. I have to terraform a biome by hand. When I finish, the world is deleted and I have to start again. The room is humid and hot and country music is blasting from a hidden speaker somewhere. The only food provided is cold and a cooked whole grain spaghetti that all stuck together. Also, it's always 8 PM. And your parents are arguing in the other room. A waiting room where you feel ill and check in but are never admitted, and people around you are talking on cell phones, watching movies on their phones without headphones, complaining, crying in pain, have noses blackened and falling off from too many drugs, idiots are trying to hit on you, and you aren't allowed to leave. Nurse occasionally comes out calling a patient's name, but it never seems to be anyone in the waiting room. Considering the username, my heck would be a room with unlimited video games, Netflix, and unlimited pizza rolls and Dr. Pepper. With no electricity for heating, power, or refrigeration. A small hot concrete room that is too short to stand up in and not wide enough to lay down in. There is country music blaring on loop and the only available food drink is a heap of black olives and kombucha. Holy frick, I am going to have stress dreams about this. I'm working a retail job on Black Friday where the same 10 Christmas songs are playing on a loop. I'm at the gift wrapping station having to wrap everyone's holiday gifts and they're all getting impatient and frustrated because I suck at wrapping gifts. Human Beyblade. The pain of a huge key being pulled from your butt to the dizziness that arrives while spinning. I bet it's bad. My mom complaining about her job and politics and everything bad about her life. I won't be able to say anything. I just have to sit in a chair and listen. Forever. Switch mom out with dad and that sounds like my life during some of my visits. Being in an interview where the interviewer keeps asking open-ended questions but never saying anything to your responses, just looking at you as if you're going to keep talking. Simultaneously you have impending diarrhea and your stomach is making gurgly noises and you just have to keep saying whatever comes to mind to cover the sound because the interviewer will not say anything and you never move forward in the conversation. But never saying anything to your responses, just looking at you as if you're going to keep talking. This is actually a well-known interrogation tactic. Your brain needs to fill the space until there is some termination to your turn of the conversation. So people will often ramble until they spill some info they meant to keep secret. A room full of people I know and love. And I'm trying to plead with them that something is very wrong and we need to leave. They all stare back at me with smiles that don't reach their eyes and tell me I'm being irrational. Having grown up in a cult and having just recently broken away from it, this is sadly a great explanation of how it feels to see all my friends and family still trapped inside. I'm working the only open lane in a Walmart during the summer rush before the 4th of July. The AC is busted and I only have a clip-on desk fan with a loose screw, so it keeps slowly leaning down. On a radio nearby is a Beach Boys CD on repeat. Every customer has that gross bag of chicken parts that leaks blood hemoglobin juice all over the conveyor, one bag of fruit with no sticker, and one of those gallon jars of Vlasic pickles. Every third person demands you bag the pickles, and of those half burst the flimsy plastic bags and shatter on the ground. Nothing scans correctly, and every customer's response is guess that means it's free. Everything is slightly out of place, and no matter how many times I move it back, it never straightens. Also, there's a quiet, high-pitched buzz that I can't find the source of. The buzz is tinnitus. Waiting for the moment my dad walks in with his big cop belt in his hand prepared to beat my butt. That fear, dread, anticipation when my heart pounded and I shook all over BC it was going to hurt so bad for so long. Food everywhere. People are eating it. I can hear them chewing and the sounds of forks and knives scraping against plates. So awful. Eternally on a road trip in a cramped car and my parents getting mad at the traffic and getting lost despite having a GPS because they insisted they know better. I'd be stuck in a room full of extroverts who are a million times smarter than me and question why I'm quiet and put me in the bad kind of spotlight every few seconds for the rest of time. Yeah, I'm never gonna do anything bad again. You know those laundromats that are not quite in the ghetto, but so close to it they might well be? It starts off in one of those. I'm sitting inside and it's muggy as heck because all the washers are going full blast. There's an air conditioner running, but it's spitting out cold air in bursts and it's that uncomfortable cold, not the actual cooling type. My clothes are currently in the dryer, spinning and spinning, but never getting past the towel damp stage. There's like 3 Mexican novellas going on at full blast. I don't understand enough to know what's going on, and my phone is sitting in the yellow zone, 21% battery life and I don't have a charger. It never dies but it's always threatening to die and I don't know that so I'm in a constant state of panic that I'll be stuck doing laundry in that heck hole without any means of keeping myself occupied. Open mouth chewers who are talking loudly about proven incorrect information as if it were factually correct. Welcome to Reddit. Having to constantly relive my failures and embarrassing moments over and over again. To save costs Satan could just rent me a hotel room. My brain does the rest automagically while trying to sleep. I'm already living it. Schizophrenia. Voices of obnoxious people who never shut the frick up. Trapped in my room. It feels like a perpetual loop every day. Nothing changes. Nothing happens. Just the same thing day in and day out. Being trapped on my last flight forever. 3 or 4 babies, with at least one screaming, often 2, the entire flight. No noise cancelling headphones could save me from that heck. A room full of all types of wasps and hornets, not stinging me, but eating my flesh to make nests and crawling around all creepily. Clown orgy, all sizes and genders doing deplorable things to my body, all types of clowns, circus clowns, killer clowns from outer space, super racist old Timmy blackface clowns, scary clowns, mimes, jugglers, you name it. Balloon animals going places, joy buzzers shocking body parts. The grand finale is called the clown car, where they see how many clown dongs fit in my butt. They finish inside me, and I think it's finally over, but they are just leaving so the next group can have a go. You're secretly into this, I know it. My personal heck would be a room with a TV, a laptop, internet, movies, books, comic books, pizza, vodka, weed and cigarettes. So basically all the entertainment possible, but I'm the only living thing inside. Wait, oh crap, I'm already dead. You get to watch yourself in third person wasting away due to your own hedonism, the very same poor life choices that led to your heart attack at age 62, and you can do nothing to stop it. A hot pink room with no air conditioning and a bed with no pillow and a pea-colored thick fuzzy blanket with fuzz on both sides. The only thing to eat is melty cheese with ranch dressing on top and the only thing to drink is skim milk mixed with water. Also, the room smells like spider guts and Baby Shark is at full blast throughout the whole room. The only books to read is the Twilight series. buried in a coffin 6 feet underground with my arms and legs bound and roaches crawling all over me. I only have a straw running to the surface to breathe through. The scene from George Orwell's 1984 where Winston finally broke. They threatened to encase his head in a glass box with hungry rats trapped inside. The stuff of my nightmares for over 20 years and the root of my rodent phobia. I'm forced to play Fortnite and listen to rap music. I have to eat McDonald's every day but they always mess up the order and the fries are underdone and oversalted. And I can only drink warm water. I'm in Walmart, 10 deep in the checkout line. The couple immediately in front of me has a kid screaming non-stop. When they get to the front, they want to divide their cart into 4 transactions, all using WIC. Just as I'm stepping up to be next, I'm back 10 deep in line. Being submerged in floating on the surface of deep, dark waters, seeing gigantic faint outlines of some creature, which occasionally pulls me down that I have to fight off. I have to debate with someone over random topics and they interrupt me and talk over me every time I try to get a word in. Frustrating as heck. Well, my primary trigger is impatience. It's the source of all my other problems. Thank you therapy for revealing this to me. So, to create my personal heck, just raise my expectations and then dash them repeatedly. Let me almost win games. Let me go out to dinners that everyone shows up an hour late to accept me. Stick me in constant traffic when I'm late or even if I am not. Make me trip and spill coffee grounds all over the kitchen in the morning before I've made my coffee. You know, my life now. It's my life now that I am describing. Crap. Being in a room full of people who think that Satan reigns over heck and not being able to convince them of the truth. He's trapped there too, not running the show. Middle management makes sense now. My room is exactly like my bedroom, a bed in one corner and a desk with mediocre laptop in the other. The only difference is there is no way out. My laptop has access to the internet, but only to streaming services where I can only consume content. No posting or contributing for me, and access to Steam, but I only have access to single player games. I have an endless supply of Kirkland 0.5 liter bottles of water and semi-sweet chocolate chips. There is no closet, and there is a small bathroom with a toilet and sink. In this room I can do anything so long as the resources provided can permit it. At first it is almost paradise. I can play video games forever, sleep till I'm dead, and I have no responsibilities of any kind. This only lasts for 2 days. On day 3 this situation would grow quite tiresome. I begin to miss interacting with real people, and the constant eating of nothing but chocolate is destroying my throat and has coated my teeth in a fuzzy sugar sensation. The water provides momentary relief, but is fleeting. By the end of the first week I no longer leave the bed. I lie in a perpetual fetal position wondering when my suffering will end. By the end of the second week I have somewhat come to terms with my situation and have returned to the computer where I spend most of my time playing soul-sucking, time-consuming video games. I begin to put on weight and grow a grotesque neck beard. Before I know it a month has passed and my reflection in the blackness of the monitor disgusts me. I no longer wish to use the computer for that reason. I return to bed. I do not want to do anything except for that which I am unable. It is at this point I will never be happy with anything again. It is at this point that my hellish torment is fully realized. Well, I have recently discovered the worst noise I've ever heard. So bad that even if I'm wearing noise cancelling earbuds with loud music the noise still gets through and hurts me to my core. And it's the sound of an old metal brush scraping paint off of wood. I'd consider myself quite resistant to noise, seeing how I'm unaffected by nails on a chalkboard. This noise is about 10 times worse. So my personal heck would probably involve stripping paint like that for eternity. I'm autistic and get sensory overloads extremely easily, so probably just as much sensory input as possible. The walls are just rapidly flashing rainbow lights, 1,000 people talking around me, a rock band playing 5 feet away, 100 strong smells at once, and make the walls be covered in something sticky, like syrup. That's the worst I can imagine. Listening to Garth Brooks sing out of time and off key while a conservative man shares every right-wing conspiracy theory there's ever been with me in great detail. We just had a big project at work and they brought in some techs to help out, and guess who I had the pleasure of escorting around all week? Started with the earth is only 6,000 years old and ended somewhere along the lines of Obama was Satan himself sent by interdimensional demons to facilitate the end of the world via the Large Hadron Collider and blood sacrifice rituals taking place there among all the scientists. Perpetual motor pool Monday. I am in a motor pool with Bradley fighting vehicles stretching all the way to the horizon. It is 30 minutes to COB for the day, and I have to get a full 5,988 E-form done for each BFV. No pencil whipping allowed, or the whole day starts over and I can only leave after the task is accomplished. And all I have for help are 3 FNG privates, and 1 PFC that is super pissy because he got denied for airborne school and will therefore be too freaking busy sulking to help. Reliving the mid-late zeros, a time when I was treated like garbage and was always told, even by certain adult figures, that it was my fault no one would talk to me and treat me the way they did, despite doing nothing. Oh, and gotta love the whole trying not to look like a gay guy talk. Even from people who supported gay marriage, never mind that it turned out that I'm an agender asexual. Also, cartoons at the time were pretty crap. They got better again from Adventure Time onwards. Anyway, reliving all that for eternity is my personal heck, or at least one of them. Well, it'd be a hospital room, I'd be in coma, and I'd be just awake enough to hear the white noise, the heart monitor, the cries of my family, but I'd never wake up. I'd have a constant dream that is wake up, run to my friend crush and tell her my feelings. She'd reject them, then repeat, and it repeats for eternity. Every 10 dreams I do something different, but it'd always be with my family not accepting my homosexuality, or a homophobe attacking me for who I am. My worst fear. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.